Hello, welcome back to Observer System Redux. It's been a while, sorry about that. Just a quick note for those that had seen Rethink. Ended up playing the reworked version to the end. There's no difference to the original in the fact of there's only 38 laser puzzles. So it wasn't really worth recording. And he'd done away with the story, and all the rooms were pretty much the same. Done away with all the puzzles are laser. He's done away with all the other puzzles, and there's no good ending, so you can't escape. You just go back to your lot room. So it really just wasn't worth recording. But anyway, this is Observer System Redux. This is a walking horror simulator by Bluba, a Polish team, all about we're a person who's able to jack into people's minds in order to get the truth out of people, I guess. But what we're not aware is that someone is already jacked into ours, and we're trying to hunt down a serial killer. So if you want the rest of the story, go back through the playlist. So we're in the room of Jack Kansas. Now, I will warn you up front that things are going to get really weird, and I don't understand the whole interpretation of everything that we're about to see. You can see that the guy is making quite a living for himself. So Jack Kansas is a tattoo artist who does holographic tattoos, but he also is a cheap backyard ripper, in that he does augmentations on the side very cheap. And we've seen the sanitation and he views himself as a saviour, but we kind of have seen the sanitation of his body organ farm. We haven't seen the Ripper Clinic yet, but trust me when I say that, that's just as bad. But this guy... So this is the most impressive of all buildings. Not even Adam lives like this. So, as I said, the idea is to just change the radio station until you see. I'm going to try and point things in the right direction.
Oh, God. This is wonderful. Thank you, Doctor.
Now, I'm assuming that's Helena Novak talking there because of what happens next. Could just be a normal patient.
Why specialize in augmentation?
To go beyond our limits. To realize our true potential. To usher in a new era.
Big words. Some would say it's all about improving the patient's quality of life.
Some need to think bigger than that. Our true goal should be to improve all of mankind, each subject a step towards that goal.
By subject, do you mean patient?
What else would I mean? Or were you being clever about my alleged lack of empathy?
Now it's interesting, at some point there's a little bit of a nod there. It's kind of like the Herbert West Reanimator in the way that Dr. West lost his reasoning because he was just wanting to conquer the human death. He wanted to be triumphant, and it's kind of the same here, that this guy is trying to perfect humanity through augmentation, and he's kind of lost his human side, but he doesn't see that. And again, and I guess you can't turn a blind eye. Like, we've already seen how many people Adam had killed in the name of his experimentations. Herbert, Jack Kansas wouldn't have been blind to that.
Where is that talking bastard!
It sounds like a murder.
Mommy? Mommy!
Now, there's a whole range of things there. We had a bird, we had, what, some sort of robot from Corin, I guess. I'm not really sure what the story with that thing was. And this is what I'm saying. It's all over the place. So are we going back in time now? No, we were back in time before. Those things that happen. So just because we're going back on the radio doesn't really have them.
You won't hurt anyone else, animal!
It could be because we're going to learn soon that Jack Hans has lost his doctor's privileges because of a wronged operation. That could be what we're hearing there as well. Especially from the guy saying you won't hurt anyone anymore. It's kind of tribute to an email that we will soon read. So that might not be a murder. But I guess what happened with Amur and Helena is also has a lot of similarities to that botched operation.
Hold it steady, goddammit.
Now this is where things just don't really make a lot of sense. There's Helena, but it's not Helena. It's a completely augmentation. Now I'm assuming this whole body thing is her data storage, which is massive. Surely she couldn't have that much augmentation inside her, because when we saw her, having said that, we got to understand that the body that we saw and was analysing in a tattoo parlor was still we're still inside a simulation, so that wasn't even her real body. But again, this isn't her real body either. We're still in a simulation, so it's hard to tell. I have a theory what's going on, and we'll look at that in a bit. Is that all this? Is that what they took out of Helena? It's a bit weird.
What is this? What the hell did you do to my wife?
It's not my fault. It's not my fault. They will know my name.
Okay. So here's something that I think might be possible. If you remember when we went back into Adam's room, we saw those sort of situation. I believe copy and paste might have also been the situation. What they were doing was trying to copy Helena's personality and put it into some sort of cyborg. Looks like it's got some sort of genetic material from Helena as well. Is this her soul? I don't know. But if you can think of Paulina and Pieta, so we never found Paulina's body, and Pieta was trying to transfer her mind into that body and push Paulina out. Now it is possible that they might have merged, and it's possible that they may have been a copy and paste situation, because we know Adam's trying to do that as well. So there might be a child walking around with Paulina and Pieta inside, instead of just and a copy of that personality was also put inside that toy. Which again, it's just a bit freaky. It's hard to imagine. So if there's various copies of personalities running around, yeah, that opens up a whole new can of worms. And again, this might have been how they were trying to,
Tissue inflammation. It's rejecting the implant.
Now it seems like Helena Novak, Jack Hanses, was really aware that there were complications due to the operation, the scale of the operation.
I won't let them hold me down. I won't be forgotten.
And maybe his world was turning around at this point. Seems like his world was turning around at that point.
This is not over.
Again, that temptation. Tree of life. We see the serial killer there. There was a good shot of the serial killer. Now,
Desynchronization imminent. Administer
I'm not
medication.
sure about that image there. Because they honestly look like Jack Kansas. But Jack Kansas is here. Or is he somewhere else? And we just don't realize it.
What the fuck just happened? How did it get here?
Now we can't ever remember even jacking into this guy's mind.
Matriarch, give me the duration of the last sequence.
You were connected for 16 minutes and 43 seconds, real time.
16 minutes? Am I losing it? Already scanned. Focus down. Try to remember.
We've even already scanned
Warning.
the whole entire
Abnormal
forest.
genetic structure detected.
This blood doesn't match the victim. Calibrate it, Trace.
Calibrating now. Calibration complete. Trace established.
Bingo.
So from what I can see here, I can't kind of remember. So we can see he hasn't had too many augmentations himself, but they're in better condition. He's only had a leg, really. It looks like he stabbed the serial killer with his cane, acted as a weapon, and he produced blood from the serial killer, which therefore left a trace. I'm just going to, again, synchrosine, because sorry.
Warning. Desynchronization imminent. Administer medication.
There we go.
Synchrosine injected. Strain level decreased.
What's this thing? Oh, is that a trophy of some sort? How do I analyze it? Okay, can't analyze. Alright, let's go to the computer, because the computer has a bit more information. Okay, it's got holographic. So he does holographic paintings as well. Interesting. Looks like he's a bit on the hooker. Bit on the drugs there. So here we have reinstatement. Jack, I've always considered you a good friend and mentor. While your teaching methods were sometimes harsh, they also helped me improve as a surgeon. Let me therefore extend the same courtesy to you and be brutally frank. There is no way in hell your license could be reinstated. The accusations laid upon you by the council are simply too grave. I used all of my influence to try and get a motion across, but they will simply not budge. Even after all this time, you are still perceived as a pariah, and the patient's family aren't making things easier. Good God, Jack, what were you thinking? To install an untested prototype in a Class A patient, and for what? Even if it would have worked, you would still most likely be facing accusations of malpractice. Whatever your motives were, I'm afraid you need to accept the consequences. Sincerely, Herbert. I know, which is interesting because Herbert. So here we have Herbert Ono was a doctor colleague to Jack Kansas. There's the connection. And here he's saying, well, you put an untested prototype, it went wrong inside a Class A patient, which you're not allowed to do. There was an unforgivable, so he had his doctor's privileges revoked. Now, what's interesting about this is Pieta was a Class A patient. So, was Pieta the one that Jack had done something to? Or is this game stating that everyone has a price? That even though he's, judging Jack here, Herbert Ono, for a price, succumbed to the same temptation by letting Pieta being talked into swapping minds with Pieta. Again, because he wanted to get to B District. I don't know if this message reaches you, but I hope for beep it does. It took me a while to get a hold of your current address. We have never actually met, but your actions have forever changed my life. More precisely, they have turned it into a waking nightmare. Thus, I wanted to take this opportunity to show my appreciation. It's been close to 2 years since the only woman I have ever loved had the inviolable distinction of being placed under your care. So no, this couldn't be Pieta, because it was 2 years ago. And although she has not and will not recover her current daughter, an actual daughter, mind you, finally managed to stabilize her enough to make her semi-comfortable. Towards that end, he has also installed a permanent feeding tube where her throat once was. No, definitely not, Pieta. She used to have the most beautiful voice. Not that you care. I've come to know that sociopaths are not moved by the plight of others, even if it's one of their own making. I was never one to harbour ill will or wish poorly upon others, but when I look at the hollow, deformed husk that was once my wife, I am moved to thoughts and emotions I never thought possible. I have attached a photo to this message. I want you to take a long, hard look and know that you did this. I want it to haunt you for the rest of your life. I want it to remind you that you're nothing but a butcher, a quack, a callous, empty has-been. I don't know what hellhole you scurried off into, but I hope you die there. And when you do, I hope you rot in hell. No, that's definitely not Pieta. So that's the botched up wife. That might have been one that we saw in the vision. What have you done with my wife? But again, Amur was saying the same thing as well. I'm pretty sure it's showing from under the skin. The thing itches like hell and gets all messy when I touch it. You have to do something. I can't show up to work like this. Contact me as soon as you get this message, Helen and Nova. So it is possible that if she had something that was similar to nanophage, that might have what triggered the warning signs to Chiron as well. So Jack might have been the one responsible in the long run for everyone's downfall. I'm getting worried about the courier. She doesn't seem to be taking pressure well. She's irrational, prone to bouts of hysterics. I can be certain of the infallible nature of my software, as well as your hardware, but the human element, as always, proves to be the weakest link. I wonder what would be more risky, to engage yet another third party, which is where Herbert Ono comes in, or proceed as we are now. Adam. P.S. Thank you for the painting. I'll put it up right away. I think I have given just the spot for it. So that was the painting behind Adam's desk, just next to, yeah. What else? Is there anything in search? Can we type something in search? No. Okay. We have more fire and swords. Got 2. Oh, this looks really complicated. Okay, I'll give it a shot. That seems to be what you need to do. Thinking I need to grab these 2. And maybe come back. I can probably grab this one. I might still see if I can run these down. Okay. Okay, so I've cleared all of the... I'm gonna have to run this one away. Alright. Yeah, that's kind of worked. Got a lot after me now. I can probably get him on this one. Right. Yes, I've solved it. Okay. That's good. First shot. I was lucky. Just had to think my way through this. I have stuffed it. I have just stuffed it. Unbelievable. Okay, sorry. Wrong turn at the end. I can do it really quick now. I am so sorry about this. And I think I've just stuffed it again. Yeah, I have. Yep, I've stuffed it again. Wow! Alright. Third time lucky. I gotta go backwards here. Then bring these out. Okay. Alright, here we go. This is an interesting little game. It reminds me of some of the arcades that we used to play, like Pac-Man and all that cool stuff, retro stuff. Okay, here we go. And I just run this one around. And This time I will not miss the... There we go. Alright. Hopefully the next one won't be so bad. Oh, I've already done that one. 15. I have no idea what I'm doing here. Got one. I can run around. Oh, there you go. That's all you have to do. Alright, so we can continue on with the journey. Okay, so that's pretty much all you can really see here. Again, the Wolfman tapes, which are...
And when he had put his hand on mine with a cheerful look, wherefrom I took courage, he brought me within to the secret things. I met someone today, a most welcome new arrival to this hellish place. A kindred spirit, a fellow outcast, and a pioneer in his field, shunned by the primitive minds incapable of recognizing true greatness. I have decided to aid this young man with his scientific endeavors. I believe he is onto something truly spectacular.
Okay. So that sounds like there's a nanophage book. Jeez, look at that. Oh yeah, again, nanophage and I talking about Daniel and how well it turned into a monster. There used to be a card there by the looks of it. Oh, I've already picked it up.
Posh pills. Not really trendy out here.
Okay. I don't really think this... Oh, Synchrosine.
Synchrosine collected.
Doesn't look like there's anything else. What's in his fridge? Nothing around. Alright, well, we don't want the trail to go cold, so let's go follow the serial killer. He evidently stumbled, started doing some DJ stuff, and then continued on. Came through the door. Opened the door. Apparently he went through the brick wall. He got to the door first, realized he couldn't open the door, turned around, and then went through the brick wall. Again, looking at it, the fact that we're not aware of this, but someone is jacked into our minds, it is a simulated reality. It's not real. And that was the case from the very beginning of the game, where Daniel wakes up in the car. Don't see any cards here. So we're going to have visions of the organ farm and the river clinic. Again, the blood. Killer came down this way. Opened the door button. Nearly had a... I think this is the one where a cleaner jumps out in the original. Doesn't happen here by the looks. No. Killer came down here. Now this is going back into the past when we were in the lockdown.
And await further instruction.
This might actually be...
This is essential lockdown procedure.
Might be with Alina and Ella.
Remain in your apartments and
confusing all realities here, all times. Now we're back at the chop shop basement. There could be a card here, I think. I might have already picked it up. Oh, here's it here. Might be there that the card is. And now we're going down into the basement. Push. Yep, we're definitely down in the catacombs. Again, the blood still following the serial killer. Was kind of losing all the reality again.
Okay.
Now we hear the noisy noises, and we're having visions of the organ farm. Though these are more horrific, sort of scarier versions of the organ farm. It's just Kansas sort of furniture around the place, showing that he's responsible for all this.
Matriarch, report DR3AT activity within the last 15 minutes.
No activity detected.
I don't get it. I'm not even plugged in. Am I fucking losing it?
Again, looking at that vision connected with George Orwell, which was Adam's, what Adam was trying to do. Quite depressing, really. Not getting there, no. So I'm just slowly going through because I'm not sure. And we're outside in this crazy world. There's a nanophage card in here. Looks like I've already picked it up. Still there. Oh no, I'm still there. Okay. Go again. Try and hack it. Oh, we gotta find numbers. I forgot about that. This is different than the other version. Where's the other number? Oh. So we got 2 other numbers. Looks like that's when we had a license revoked, maybe? I think Jack Kansas might be into sex bots as well. Or that he builds them on the side. I think he's got a bit of a... I think he might have been the one that created those, because they're in his tattoo parlor. We know there's a few in the hotel, so I wouldn't put it past me if he's got a hand in that as well. And maybe that's what he was trying to do with Elena as well.
Dead.
Scary thing.
Cured. We can be together now.
Now this is Daniel thinking of his wife. Okay, thought it did a lot more. And his wife is saying we can be together. She gives us the code. Is it in his subconscious? How would he know that? I guess if they've been copying a lot of people, and there's a bank of people to some degree, I guess it would be loaded up. So if it's in Jack Kanz's mind and we're all together, then he might be able to access that as well. Yeah, since Daniel's already what was it, 69? And again, 69, that sex bot thing. So here we have a bike. We're going to find out how it relates to the serial killer, but also how it relates to Adam as well. And if you remember at the start, just outside the car was that bike. So now we're in the top floor. I believe we're actually inside the apartment complex of the serial killer's parents. Or it's quite a big one. No, okay. Now this I thought was brilliant. So you'll see these signs everywhere. It's sort of like some sort of symbol you can set up to stop the serial killer getting you. Don't know who came up with this idea to come up with. It's all mumbo jumbo. Whether this is the interpretation, because we know the whole apartment is building is scribbled with Adam's computations, his calculations. That's also possible. We cannot get past this without again, there's some sort of defense against the monster, which is really us anyway.
Hey, PD, I need to ask you some questions.
Shh, keep your voice down. He'll hear you.
Who will?
The one of many shapes. We don't speak his name.
The symbols on your door, what are they for?
Protection. They used to keep him at bay, but lately he's been getting bolder. I can tell he's coming for me. It's only a matter of time.
Well, there's no one here but you and me.
He's always out there, watching, waiting.
And if all these people are together, it's possible that they're just referring to, because the nanophage is a digital virus as much as a physical virus. So they might be worried about us being we're a virus.
I won't let him hurt you if you work with me.
I can't. I'm sorry. He'll know.
How?
He's coming. He's coming.
So now we run. If we don't run, we die. Now,
Hey, Foggy.
if you remember, the outside of the building was laden with holographic projectors, emitters. Well, we've walked into a room now that is absolutely full of this stuff. And what we've got to do, now this is the room that the serial killer has set up to some degree. It's maybe like a training ground for him. He sees and he hunts. Again, with that wolf type of atmosphere. We're not going to be able to see anything until we use our electronic and we pull out one of the emitters. Now you'll see that there's two. There's one down here by the looks. I'll try and get to it. Can be quite hard. Here we go. That makes it a lot more easier, and the next one should be quite close. If I can just run through. Again, there you see that bike. That was the bike I was looking for. How come I can't pull this one out? There we go.
Bingo.
bike's not there anymore. Is that bike still there, or is that bike's gone? But you can see how the serial killer basically collects parts. He was being used for that reason, as a scavenger. And he's been collecting all this stuff, and I kind of believe this is his workstation more than anything. We can see that the killer has been come through here. Oh, there's a nanophage card here somewhere, but I've already picked it up by the looks. And we're back outside. So if you come over here, Janice should be on the toilet.
Need to get out.
It's not on the toilet. Oh, there you go. That was weird. Normally Janice is on the toilet and you can't get in there. It's weird that I have been able to get there. Invisible Janice. But you just come back there 5 minutes later and he'll be gone. Now I'm freaking out again because I have jacked into a dead.
Synchrosine injected. Strain level decreased.
So that will stop the game from glitching.
Right on your tail.
And we can see that we're following the blood trail. So a lot of eye candy and a lot of detail went in this. If you want to read more, I'm surprised the attention to detail. For instance, Helena Novak's name is the one on the room because her husband is a criminal, and evidently his name wouldn't be on the rental list. Just simple things like that. A lot of work went into this production. So basically, on the other side of this door is the serial killer. But what we're going to do is we are going to go back and just get a little bit more story, and we're just going to go through the Ripper clinics. Until then, bye for now.